Even though it's widely acknowledged that the primary attraction of The Summer I Turned Pretty is the romantic triangle involving Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah, The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, Episode 4 provides much-needed attention to one of the show's other most significant relationships, that between Belly and her mother Laurel. After the chaos of last week's dramatic family reunion in which Belly, Lola Tongue, and Jeremiah proudly announced their plan to get married just a few months later in Cousins' Last Stand, The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 4 begins rather quietly, and that's for the best. While I felt sorry for Belly during this episode, I couldn't help but stew in my frustration as well. If everyone in your life is telling you that getting married now is ridiculous, doesn't that mean something? Belly's 21st birthday is celebrated with a wedding dress shopping trip without Laurel instead of a large celebration. Something about Belly's portrayal in this episode seems strange. This issue began in Episode 2. In the double-episode debut of Summer Season 3, Belly and the show have once again decided to overlook her motivation for wanting to end her relationship with Jeremiah. She is now so obsessed with getting married and marrying Jeremiah this summer that she is practically acting irrationally. The show seems determined to make us believe that Belly and Jeremiah are in love. Their shared scenes have an odd sense of urgency and forced closeness, as though we should be cheering them on instead of speculating about her possible future with Conrad, Christopher Briney. Unfortunately, their scenes made my skepticism worse. The scene where Belly and Jeremiah are bidding each other farewell is where this is most brutally evident. Belly chooses not to travel to her study abroad course in Paris after telling him that she can't bear the idea of being apart from him for 5 days. Jeremiah concurs wholeheartedly. I nearly hurled my remote control across the room, and I'm not afraid to confess it. The fact that I don't think Lola Tongue and Gavin Casalegno get along doesn't help either. It's difficult for me to grasp what the show is trying to accomplish here. Is it prepping us for Belly's shift toward Conrad, or does it want us to cheer for Jeremiah? And if the latter, why has Belly hardly given Conrad any care or attention in the past few episodes? Fortunately, there was more to this episode than just Belly and Jeremiah's impending marriage. Additionally, it focused on Belly's relationship with her mother, and to a lesser degree Susanna, played by Rachel Blanchard. I'm not arguing that Jackie Chung's character Laurel is entirely correct. Although I support her belief that Belly and Jeremiah's wedding plans are extravagant and that they should wait at least another year until they graduate from college, it seems like she could have helped Belly feel less inferior and unimportant for her decisions. Nevertheless, Chung gave a truly strong performance, and I'm glad this season is giving her a more compelling plot. I don't think Laurel ever thought Jeremiah would be her son-in-law either. Did you see the expression on her face when Jeremiah suggested that was the case? I also didn't like that he used Susanna's memory to justify their need to get married, and I'm glad Laurel reminded him that they'd never truly know what Susanna would have wanted. We already know that Belly and Laurel have a complicated relationship, as evidenced by their argument in SIP Season 2. This episode genuinely illustrates the separation between Belly and Laurel post-Susanna. Belly's resistance is understandable, and the flashback scene made it clear how much Susanna's passing had distanced them from one another. It was a strong choice to use Fleetwood Mac's Landslide in that scene. Although we know they love each other, they are unable to comprehend one another. All in all, The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 4 was an unquestionably significant and emotionally painful episode. As Belly spirals farther in her romance with Jeremiah, I find myself increasingly fascinated in the various relationships surrounding her, and I'm glad this installment used Belly's and Jeremiah's plans as a segue to examine one of The Summer I Turned Pretty's most interesting supporting characters further. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.